I began my critical thinking courses by trying to help students appreciate the significance that human beings can make sense out of the world, not merely by observing that, for example, this four-legged furry creature barking and wagging its tail is a dog, but that the conclusion, this is a dog, is the result of an inference, of an interpretation, of our having filtered our observation of a four-legged furry creature barking and wagging its tail through a concept that most of the time comes to us from culture, that we didn't author, that we didn't come up with, but that was taught to us at an early age, before we had a seat at the table to evaluate those concepts. We merely adopt them because we'd like to be able to communicate and make sense of the world. The problem we face is that we believe our perception of and thinking about the world is unfiltered, and that we simply see the world as it is. And we're frustrated that all of these other people, these damn fools, can't see what we see. We wonder if they've got 20/20 vision. Why can't they just see the world like we do? Imagining the following. You're telling a friend about a recent argument you've just had with your spouse, but your friend keeps checking her watch, and you conclude that they clearly don't care about your feelings or your difficulties. Here you are pouring out your heart, and they keep checking the clock. So you, rational person that you are, you cut the conversation off and you abruptly leave. A reaction like this, ideally it would sound too ridiculous to even be able to relate to, but alas, we're humans. And the fact that we have the capacity for reason does not mean that we reason often. But here's the thing, it feels that way. It feels disrespectful in that situation. Later when your friend calls asking, what the heck happened? You just sort of stormed off and left. You indignantly respond, condemning their disrespectful. You're so insensitive. What do you mean? Why did I do that? How could you behave that? How could you be so callous? And the situation just would spiral on from there, as your friend angrily defends herself against what she perceives as an unprovoked, irrational attack. We too often, infrequently, appreciate that the facts of the world do not by themselves disclose their meaning or significance. To determine something's significance or meaning, we filter it. We filter it through one or more interpretive lenses or beliefs. The fact our friend is checking the time, it might indicate impatience. It might indicate disinterest. It might indicate that you need, better, decisions making about friends. But it might actually, conversely, mean that they have some place to be and that they cannot be late. The fact that your friend sits there with you and listens, checking the time periodically, might indicate that they've chosen to prioritize being in your company, being compassionate until the very last minute when they know that they have to leave and they can't wait an extra second. It could indicate patience instead of the impatience that you presumed. And the point is this, the fact that someone looks at the time tells us nothing other than someone is looking at the time. Only when such a fact is coupled with an interpretive belief, such as if they check the time frequently, they don't actually care about what I have to say, does it actually gain meaning or significance. And yet these kinds of background beliefs often go unrecognized. We take them for granted as givens, assuming that everyone is reading from the same script as we are, seeing through the same lenses. And often enough, there are enough people looking at it like we do, that we are given the impression that there's nothing to see there, that everybody who has reason and 20/20 vision is going to see it the same way we do. Quite often enough, they aren't facts at all that are influencing the most important decisions and conclusions we come to. They're value judgments, actually.